In the annals of game show history, few contestants have left as indelible a mark, or sparked as much controversy, as Michael Larson. In May 1984, Larson walked away with over $110,000 in cash and prizes on CBS's Press Your Luck, making him the highest single-day winner in television history at the time. But what seemed like an extraordinary stroke of luck was anything but. Larson's victory wasn't due to chance. It was the result of months of meticulous study and planning that exposed flaws in one of America's most popular game shows. Decades later, Larson's story has been immortalized in The Luckiest Man in America, a new feature film from IFC Films starring Paul Walter Hauser as the infamous contestant. Directed by Samir Oliveros, the movie reimagines Larson's rise to fame and his dramatic fall from grace, offering audiences a glimpse into the life of a man whose brilliance and ambition were matched only by his inability to sustain success. A life obsessed with money. Born Paul Michael Larson in 1949 in Lebanon, Ohio, Larson grew up with dreams of wealth and little patience for hard work. According to James, his younger brother, Larson spent much of his childhood concocting get-rich-quick schemes. As early as grade school, he was caught selling candy bars to classmates at inflated prices. Later, as an adult, he devised elaborate plans to exploit unemployment benefits by starting businesses under family members' names and then laying himself off. He didn't believe in honest labor, James recalled in a 2010 episode of NPR's This American Life. He thought people who worked regular jobs were fools. By his early 30s, Larson had already married and divorced twice and settled into a common-law relationship with Teresa Dinwiddie. By this point, his obsession had shifted to television, particularly game shows. When Press Your Luck premiered on CBS in 1983, hosted by the charismatic Peter Tamarkin, played by Walton Goggins in the film, Larson saw an opportunity. He became fixated on the show's centerpiece, the big board, an 18-square grid cycling through cash prizes, vacations, and dreaded whammies that could wipe out a player's earnings. What viewers saw as random chaos, Larson perceived as order. Over 6 painstaking months, he recorded episodes of the show, slowed them down frame by frame, and discovered something astonishing: the board followed predictable patterns. By memorizing these sequences, Larson realized he could manipulate the game entirely. For him, this wasn't cheating, it was strategy. Breaking the game. Determined to put his discovery to the test, Larson scraped together enough money for a plane ticket to Los Angeles and auditioned for the show. Despite raising suspicions among some producers, including contestant coordinator Bob Edwards, who found Larson oddly rehearsed, he charmed others with his unassuming demeanor and backstory as an unemployed ice cream truck driver desperate for a break. When taping day arrived, Larson initially struggled, landing on a whammy during his first spin. But as the second round began, everything changed. Focused and methodical, Larson repeatedly hit 2 key spaces on the board, including the coveted big bucks square that awarded cash and bonus spins. For 47 consecutive spins, Larson avoided every whammy, racking up $110,237 in total winnings, a sum worth over $330,000 today. The game stretched so long that it aired across 2 episodes. As the studio audience erupted in cheers, those behind the scenes grew increasingly uneasy. Host Peter Tamarkin, producer Bill Carruthers, portrayed by David Strathairn in the film, and other staff watched in disbelief as Larson dismantled their carefully crafted game. They couldn't deny his skill, but they also couldn't ignore the unsettling realization that he had cracked the code. CBS's dilemma. Once the dust settled, executives at CBS convened an emergency meeting to review the footage. Their goal? To find a way to disqualify Larson without tarnishing the network's reputation. Darlene Lieblich, a former member of CBS's Program Practices Department, recounted the tense deliberations in the 2003 documentary Big Bucks, the Press Your Luck scandal. After hours of debate, however, the consensus was clear: Larson hadn't broken any rules. He had simply outsmarted the system. What legal grounds did we have to withhold his prize? Asked Michael Brockman, then CBS's vice president of daytime programming. He beat us fair and square. With no choice but to honor Larson's win, CBS aired the historic 2-part episode on June the 8th and 11th, 1984. Behind the scenes, producers scrambled to revamp the big board, introducing nearly 30 new patterns to prevent future contestants from following in Larson's footsteps. The downfall. For Larson, the thrill of victory was short-lived. Back home in Ohio, he quickly squandered his newfound fortune. Hoping to capitalize on another radio contest promising $30,000 to anyone who matched a winning serial number, Larson withdrew roughly $100,000 in cash, all in dollar bills, from his bank account. When the contest proved unwinnable, he redeposited about half the money, leaving the rest vulnerable to theft. Within months, burglars broke into his house and stole between $40,000 and $50,000. Convinced Teresa had tipped off the thieves, Larson ended their relationship and moved out. His financial woes deepened when a real estate investment collapsed, wiping out the remainder of his winnings. Desperate to rebuild his life, Larson took a job as an assistant manager at Walmart but soon became embroiled in a fraudulent pyramid scheme run by Pleasure Time Incorporated. Facing scrutiny from the SEC, FBI, and IRS, he fled to Florida in the mid-1990s, severing ties with his family. Ultimately, it was illness, not infamy, that claimed Larson's life. Diagnosed with throat cancer, he passed away in February 1999 at the age of 49. Though he left behind 3 children from 3 different relationships, details about his final years remain scarce. Legacy of a controversial genius. Today, Larson's legacy is a complex tapestry of ingenuity, recklessness, and tragedy. While some view him as a clever strategist who exposed weaknesses in a rigged system, others see him as a cautionary tale of someone unable to channel his talents toward lasting success. Director Samir Oliveros grappled with these contradictions while making The Luckiest Man in America. Michael was incredibly smart, Oliveros told The Hollywood Reporter. But instead of using his intellect for something constructive, he constantly sought shortcuts. It's almost like he was searching for validation, not just money. Audiences can decide for themselves whether Larson was a hero, a villain, or something in between when they watch Paul Walter Hauser bring his story to life on the big screen. Featuring standout performances by Hauser, Goggins, and Strathern, The Luckiest Man in America invites viewers to reflect on the fine line between brilliance and hubris, and the cost of playing the odds. Now playing in select theaters, the film serves as a fitting tribute to a man whose moment in the spotlight forever changed the world of game shows, and whose life remains a fascinating enigma.